Playbook for Performance, the official podcast of Shauna Corden, the Joan of Arc for corporate healing and performance. Join the quest to make work fun again by preparing leadership for engaging workplaces. And now, your host.
Hello and welcome everybody to another edition of the Playbook for Performance podcast. I'm your host, Shauna Corden. And this month, actually for the next couple months, our theme is really about planning 2023 to build your resilience. So the mission is to make work fun again, and work is not fun if we're depleted and we feel like we don't have any energy. We know that the success in a change effort is really dependent upon good leadership. That means leading ourselves and others. It means good communication. Are we being clear about the vision, expectations, etc.? And the third piece is really about resilience. And that's why we're tackling this 20-week challenge to help build people's resilience. It's free to join. Each week there's going to be a new video out on YouTube for you to join along. The lessons don't have to be done in order. We may refer back and forth to some of these videos, but don't worry about it. You can catch up as you go. But do check out the podcast or the YouTube video from the week of the 14th of November, because there's a theme sheet that goes along with that. And in that theme sheet, it helps you structure the goal for each week, and then what your reward is if you meet your goal, and what the consequence is if you don't meet the goal. And again, we're big on consequences, because consequences you benefit from as opposed to a punishment. So let's get started this week. This is really week 1 of the 20 lessons that we're going to go into. And this is all about tolerations. So you might be going, well, what's a toleration? Think about the term tolerating. It's like, I am putting up with blank. This could be friends, could be your environment, could be your income level. It could be settling. And so that's what we're going to talk about this week, because it's different for everybody. So let's start off with 2022. And what is it that you want less of? So I know for myself, when it came to 2022, there were some systems that didn't work all that well for me. And so I spent a lot of 2022 building new systems that would make my life easier. In that process, I realized that there were some things I didn't need to organize or streamline. I needed to just get rid of them. And so you might feel the same way. So some of the things that people talk about from an environment point of view. So let me back up for a second. What we want you to do is just do a brain dump. Take out a piece of paper and write down everything that's driving you crazy. And it could be overwhelming. Like you might have, and I'm not kidding when I say this, 200 items on your list. It's not uncommon. I've put 150,000 people through this class. I assure you, it's not uncommon. So let's think about the categories just to give you a little bit more organization. So it could be financial. You know, for a lot of you, it might be that our current inflation rate is really irritating to you, and you're finding that your dollar's not going as far as it used to. So it could be finance fees, interest fees, late fees. If you're like me, you're guilty of multiple streaming systems and it's not doing you a lot of good. You probably ought to rotate. Things like that. You know, just kind of go through that. Financially, what are all the things that you're putting up with? Then we want to move to a new category, which might be your environment. You know, how easy is it for you to get dressed in the morning? How easy is it to prepare for a meal? How easy is it to go grocery shopping? How easy is it for you to find the things you need? So that might be a little bit about your environment. It might be that your plants are having a difficult time staying alive. I'm an overwaterer, so I always have to resist. It could be that your windows aren't as clean as you'd like. It could be that you've been putting off some system upgrades. I know I'm due for the new Mac update. Things like that. What are those things? And do you have enough time in your schedule to actually keep up with all those demands on your time? So those are some categories, financial, again, environment or home. Another one might be relationships. Of your circle of friends, I would whip out your calendar and look at your appointments that you've had over the last couple months. Are you spending time with people who really, uplift you and give you joy and make you laugh? Or are you kind of hanging out with some curmudgeons? And maybe you want to limit your time with those folks. So that's another category. And then the last category that I would suggest you brainstorm is your health. Are you less flexible than you used to be? Do you have less strength? Are you eating less greens and drinking less water? And you'd like to improve those things. Or maybe you want to try a new diet and see if it makes you feel better. Maybe you want to go vegan or gluten-free or something like that. But those are really the 4 categories. Again, just brainstorm, financial, your environment, your relationships, and your health. Those are the perfect areas to start with. And anything that's either draining, annoying, or you just simply like to upgrade. Last year, I spent some time and money upgrading my office. So I went from hydrangea blue to pink. It might not be totally obvious that it's pink, but it feeds me. So that might be an area that you might want to think about in terms of how you're spending your time. Could be your office chair. Think how many hours you're sitting your bottom in your chair. Or maybe you want a standing desk, and I have the option of doing both. So those are some things that you would really might want to consider. Now, again, there's no right, there's no wrong, there's no, I have to do 20 things on this list or one thing on this list. Really what we're trying to do is create awareness for you. Again, all in the effort of building your resilience, because if you're not spending time being drained by this stuff, then you have more energy for the good stuff. So, homework this week. Tackle that list, get it in front of you, categorize it, try to prioritize it. What would make the most difference for you? For health, I'd say the number one thing, drink enough water. Okay. I'm no health practitioner, but that's what's made the difference for me. Okay. Finances. Don't pay money to people who don't need it. Whether it's getting your bill pay on time or paying off debt at the highest percentage first. Things like that. Relationships. Maybe not call back that person who's really insulting and demeaning to you. And in your environment, maybe it would make you really happy to have a cartoon of your favorite Calvin and Hobbes, sitting on your desk just to keep you cheered up. Okay? So, again, those are some examples. Now, don't forget that you want to set a goal. Maybe it's to eliminate 5 tolerations this week. And again, remember with our theme sheet, you have a goal for each week. And I've had lots and lots of students in the past, their whole goal for the whole 20 weeks is just to tackle 5 tolerations each week. They don't even bother trying to get to some of the other lessons that we're going to get to in terms of the goals because it's so rewarding just eliminating the tolerations. But you want to have a reward, and I would encourage you to drop your comments below about what your reward is. Could be big, could be small. It could be paying for a movie even though you already have streaming. Or it could be going out instead of having takeout. Things like that. They don't have to be big. Could be just a tiny little upgrade that makes you go, oh, I did that. I accomplished my goal for the week. And then a consequence. A consequence could be something like, going through 3 of your office binders and shredding or recycling the things that you no longer need, that are dated, etc. Could be cleaning out drawers, cleaning out closets, things like that. Things you'll really benefit from, but you tend to put off because it's an unpleasant task. I know that I need to keep up refiling things on my electronic system all the time. You know, my consequence might be spending an hour, you know, getting rid of things, especially screenshots, stuff like that. So consider those. Make sure you write it down. Here's my goal. Here's my reward. Here's my consequence. And then join us here next week. Next week, we're going to be talking about getting clear of the past. And that might be some, you know, grudges you're holding on to. It might be things you're upset about. It might be that third grade Sister Mary Martha that told you couldn't sing. We're going to talk about those things next week. So recruit your friends. Have them join us. We really want to make sure that you recognize that a rising tide lifts all boats. So if you're getting rid of these tolerations and your friends are getting rid of tolerations, you can celebrate together, which will be even more fun. Don't forget the theme sheet will be at our site, and I'll have Michelle put it in the show notes where you can find that. So again, join your friends. It'll be really fun and no pressure. This is all about building your resilience. So don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you need any help, send us a message at podcast@ShaunaCorden.com. Take care, everybody.
Thank you for listening to Playbook for Performance. To learn more about Shauna Corden, her consulting programs and tools, please visit her website at ShaunaCorden.com and follow us on social media at Shauna Corden.